How to actually stop gooning and quit your bad habits. Gooning, which is a weird word, porn, masturbation, whatever you want to call it, is a truly bad and destructive habit. And also, it's something that isn't talked about enough or at all. It's very quiet. It's something that men, they don't like to share with each other. They might share it on the internet with people they don't know, but they won't share it with their friends. They don't really talk about it with their friends. And it's kind of like an unspoken thing. And it is a bad and very, very destructive habit. And so a lot of people, they don't understand how it feels on the other side when you stop, right? It's not really about semen retention and levitating and doing all this shit that people claim it does. And I do think it does have some power and it's your life force, but getting off of gooning and some of your bad habits in general has the ability to turn around your energy levels, your mood, your overall well-being, and just your attraction from women. Everything is so much better when you stop. Life is so much better when you are not doing this habit. More mental clarity, more physical energy, stronger in the gym. Your aura around women goes way up to you have a more masculine presence, okay? So all of these things come from quitting some of these bad habits, and you sometimes have to sacrifice in order to grow, in order to gain. Okay, so this is the thing you have to sacrifice in 2026. And I remember I was at church and the pastor asked, what are you going to give up in 2026? What are you leaving behind in 2025? And this was it for me. This is something that I've done a really made a lot of progress with, done a lot of good things in terms of getting off of it in 2025, like going multiple months without it, but I still here and there would jump back to it and get into a rut and these different things. And I really, really wanted to kick it in 2026. Okay. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I know how it is versus being on it versus being off it, right? Multiple months last year at a time, I would be off it. Like January, I was off completely. April, June, it was probably 6 months out of the year where I didn't goon at all. Okay. And then the other months, I might have had sex a little bit, masturbated a little bit, and watching porn is something that I've completely cut out, and that hasn't been going on for the past like 6 months. So that is something that I pray to God I never go back to. But if you actually want to stop gooning, it comes down to two things. It's really mentality and then time. All bad habits go away and dissipate with time. It's about 21 days to actually kick a bad habit. Some studies say 66 days, but 21 is really the starting point, and then 66 is kind of where you get to the point where it's not really a thing anymore. But I will say, as a man, it's part of your natural and animal instinct to want to reproduce, right? But you want to reproduce with an actual female, with an actual woman, okay? So the mentality, the first thing that you have to understand is that life is so much better off of it, okay? That is the first thing that I'm going to say for you guys is life is better off. A lot of the time, you have to sacrifice in order to grow. And life is better off of gooning. Let me add one more F. It's better off. Life is so much better. You have so much more mental clarity, no brain fog, more energy, greater moods, overall better state of well-being. And it's just a better life to live than being some loser in the room, in the bathroom, jacking off, doing a habit he knows is not good. And if you actually really, really want to stop, take a video of yourself pleasuring yourself and you will never want to touch yourself again because it's just disgusting to look at, okay? So if you've never done that, the next time you go to jack off, take your phone and take a video of yourself doing it, and I promise you, you won't want to do it again. But life is so much better off of it, right? And this goes for a lot of habits, bad habits in general, right? One thing that I've given up and I haven't done in about 8 months, probably twice in the past 8 months, is drinking alcohol. I don't do drugs anymore. I stopped vaping, smoking weed, all of that stuff completely out. And life is just so much better off of those things. I have more energy. I have more focus. I have more time. I'm not spending my Sundays hungover. I'm not ruining my sleep quality. So I'm getting better pumps in the gym and having better lifts. I'm having better sleep, more deep dreams. All of these things are good things to have. And I have more energy, more mental clarity, more focus when I am off those things. So sometimes you have to sacrifice in order to grow. And this is one of the most important things to sacrifice in order to grow. So life is better off without it. I'm telling you guys, the times when I'm on it versus without it, it is like night and day. The confidence, the assertiveness, the aggressiveness, the masculine presence, all of the intangible things that we as men aspire to have, I feel like I have it when I am off of it for a significant amount of time. Okay, and I speak better, I have more clarity, I have more confidence, I talk to more women, I talk to more people, I'm more social, have more energy, have more time. All of these things are good things to have, not putting women on pedestals, right? All of these things are good qualities to have and things that you want as a man, right? So think about, instead of thinking about, oh, I need to stop, think about how life will be better off without it, okay? That is the very first thing. The next thing, and arguably more important than number one to actually stop gooning, is you have to starve less. You have to stop giving it so much energy, so much of your time. In the Bible, it literally says you have to run away from lust. You have to starve it, okay? Run away. Anytime a girl pops up into my Instagram feed randomly or without me asking, because Instagram will do that, because they know you will spend more time on the app when they put a beautiful woman right in front of your face, right? They know you're going to stare and look at her and spend more time on the app, so it's going to give them more money. Like, I won't even be looking at girls on Instagram, none of that stuff, and then randomly, out of nowhere, it'll just pop up in the middle of my feed. Like, why is that there? It shouldn't be there. So always hit, this post made me uncomfortable, you are not interested. That is the best thing to do to get it to stop popping up. And when it comes up, have the discipline to you do that every time and not to look at it. But the main thing is starving lust and running away from it, okay? And how you do this is by getting it out of your picture, out of sight, out of mind, okay? When you are on the explore page, when you are on Instagram, when you are following these girls on Instagram, when you are on TikTok looking at big booty bitches, big booty Latina bitches, it's going to be much harder to not jack off. It's going to be so much harder, right? You have to starve less. You have to run away from it. So the first thing is to get off Instagram, get off these apps, okay? These are not good for you. If you are not making a personal brand, if you are not posting, if you're not trying to run a business, you are wasting your time on Instagram, okay? You are wasting your time on TikTok if you're also not doing the same thing, okay? And ultimately, all you're doing on there is just getting super horny. You are adding so much more fuel to the fire, right? Fire is good to have. What I'm telling you, when life is better off, you have this fire, but it's a controlled and it's a contained fire that you can put into different aspects of your life. But when you have this lust that's going, it's a wildfire. It's a scary fire that burns down homes, burns down everything, okay? So this is something you have to run away from. It is the one thing in the Bible God says to run away from. So run away from it. Anytime you are on Instagram or anything like that, just you got to stop. Unfollow those girls. This post made me uncomfortable. Don't bring your phone to the bathroom. Don't go scrolling anytime before noon in the morning, because at night it's going to plant that seed into your head and it's going to be in your head all day. And then at night, set a bedtime alarm 30 minutes before bed, and that is the time you don't look at your phone for the rest of the night. It's bad enough to have that blue light, but it's worse to jack off right before bed, okay? So you have to starve less. You have to run away. If you actually want to quit and stop, this is the number one thing you have to do, right? Out of sight, out of mind. A lot of the time when I'm not, doing that stuff is because I'm not really around women. I'm not going out partying. A big thing for me is that I would go out and try to hook up with girls, try to get with girls. And then sometimes I'd be successful. Sometimes I wouldn't. And I would end up being home alone and then get horny and go on Instagram, and you can guess what happened with the rest. So the biggest thing is to just starve less and run away. If you don't have this habit under control, don't go out trying to talk to women, going to the bars, seeing women dressed up provocatively. You don't want to do that. You want to focus on starving lust and running away from it. The third and final mentality that you should have when it comes to this is thinking about your future and your ideal self, okay? Think about the man you want to be. Think about the goals you want to achieve. Think about the person that you ultimately want to be, okay? And I guarantee gooning is not one of those things, okay? Gooning is not something that your future self aspires to be. It's not something God wants you to do, okay? And just know that the better version of yourself is always watching you, right? The better version of who you could be, it's always there. It's just about the choices and decisions you make. And ultimately, gooning is a choice and decision you are actively making, which is actively ruining your life. It is stupid, okay? So you have to think about your future self, right? Do you really want to be 30, 35 years old with a wife and kids, if you're even able to attract a wife and kids, who still goons, who still watches porn, who still has a relationship with online women who have no idea they even exist. Like, that is actually the life you want to live. You have to think about this stuff, okay? Trust me, there are guys out there who are 30, 40, 50, 60 who are still dealing with this problem, right? There's family members in my family who I went on their tablet, and this is an older 50-year-old plus family member who I went on their tablet when I was like 15, and that was on their Safari page. You do not want to be dealing with this. This is something that is going to ruin your life, especially if you're at that age. A lot of women divorce their husbands because they have an addiction toward pornography and masturbating. Don't let that be you. Think about your future self. Do you really want to raise a kid and a daughter, a son, when you're still jacking off and watching porn? Like, if you don't stop now, when are you actually going to stop, right? Now is the best time to stop. Now is the best time to get your shit under control, and you control your mind. Your mind does not control you. That's ultimately the thing that is happening, is that your mind is controlling you and literally forcing you to do this thing because it's an addiction. Okay, so you have to think about your future self. You do not want to be dealing with this problem, with this issue, okay? So think about your future self and your ideal self. The person you want to be, the man you want to become. Does he jack off? Does he watch porn? Absolutely not, okay? So you have to think about your future and your ideal self and start to live in congruence with that person. I touched on in the open that time is another big factor that plays into ultimately eliminating bad habits. I think it takes about 21 days to actually get rid of a bad habit, but more like 66 days to completely kick it and to completely get rid of it. 21 days is always a good goal to start out with, because after those 21 days, you don't really feel that addiction and you don't feel that pull like you used to, okay? So 21 days should be the goal. That is your big goal. If you are really struggling with it, 21 days is got to be the goal, your big goal. But another thing, if you're really, really struggling with it, you can go a day without it, is 24 hours. 24 hours. Set a little bit of a goal for yourself to achieve, to stop this habit. I know how it is for me when, I was really going really down bad with it, that sometimes I couldn't go 24 hours without it. I couldn't go a single day without it, right? So this was the goal that I had, just to start out, just go 24 hours without it, right? 24 hours, and then also have this law and this, basically this law that none of that, right? Masturbating and pleasuring yourself is bad, but this makes it 2 times worse. This makes it 3 times worse. This makes it 4 times worse. This makes it devil-like, okay? This is the worst thing you can do to yourself, is really watching this. I would rather you guys drink. I'd rather you smoke weed. I'd rather you not get the right amount of sleep than do this, okay? Because this is the devil's work, okay? So watch out for this one. If you are going to do it, this is your law. This is your universal law. And if you really, like, for me, if I was like, I'm not watching this, so really what's the point in doing it, right? There's no point. So stop the corn and give yourself this goal of 21 days. If you are really down bad, 21 days is the best and most amount of time period to be able to really kick that bad habit, okay? And if you're really down bad, 24 hours. But time is the best thing. I know I talked about on my last video that counting days is cope, and it is. But if you are really down bad, you have to set a goal for yourself. You have to set some type of goal for yourself. And in the short term, when you're just trying to get off of it, have a goal for yourself of 24 days, 21 days, or 24 hours, okay? Start there. Have little goals for yourself. Make it a progress, right? You don't go to the gym and expect to lift all the weights right away. You have to build up to it. So build up to it. It's okay. I've made so much progress in 2025, and now my 2026 goal is to not do this anymore. Is to be done with it. God called upon me to do that, and so that's what I need to do. But for a lot of you guys, you just got to start out small. You got to make progress, right? It's much better to go to the gym 3 times a week than to not go at all. It's much better than to stop gooning for 3 days than to not stop gooning at all, okay? So start with a little goal. Whatever it is, whatever your situation is, think about something that's a challenge but not too hard, right? A challenge but not too hard, right? If it's something you can do for like 6 days, but you can't squeeze past it, 14 days, 21 days. Something you can't do it for 8 hours, 24 hours is your goal. Have a short goal and work up to it. It's just like a gym. It's just like the muscle. Getting off a bad habit, make progress. It's not about perfection at first, okay? You'll get to that point, but it's about making progress. That's how you build brick by brick. It's not, Rome wasn't built in a day, okay? So take your time. It's okay, but have this law, this universal law, none of that. Block sites. Whatever you need to do to not watch it. Don't go on Twitter. Delete your Twitter account. Don't go on Twitter ever. Reddit, get off Reddit. I know all the tricks and I know all the hacks because I used to do them. Reddit, get off Reddit. Twitter, get off Twitter. Right? Block sites. There's different apps you can buy to stop. And if you are truly serious about stopping, you don't mind shelving out $10 a month to stop, okay? Because that app is going to block it all off your phone and then also give you an accountability partner, okay? So buy an app. It's okay to spend $10 to get rid of this habit and then have more energy, have more life force for you to use to actually improve your life. Now, the second thing you have to do is replace your bad habits, okay? It is hard to just get rid of a bad habit and then not fill it with anything else. Just live the same life, right? Ultimately, if you want to quit a bad habit, the best thing to do is replace it, right? So that is number 2. Replace your bad habits, not with more bad ones, but with good habits, okay? And obviously good habits are subjective to the person, but most of them are about delayed gratification instead of instant gratification. Gooning is an example of instant gratification. You do something, you don't put in any work, and you get a reward. Good habits is an example of delayed gratification where you put in work and then you see the result after, right? I worked out this morning and I have more energy and I feel better after, right? I have more ability to make these videos and I'm more focused and have more mental clarity, right? And I have this high because I went to the gym early in the morning and I hit legs, okay? So replace with good habits. Some things that you can replace it with is reading. Reading really reprograms your mind and resets your brain. If you have a problem with your attention span, reading is one of the best things you can do to combat that issue because you are literally forced to read pages, page after page. And if your mind starts to wander, you have to go back and read, which is annoying. Okay, so reading is one of the best things you can change that habit with. And like I mentioned before, setting a bedtime alarm 30 minutes before bed, because I know a lot of you guys, this is what you do right before bed. You jack off and then you go to sleep. The worst way to go to bed is to jack off and go to sleep, okay? You're getting a bunch of blue light in your eyes, first off, and then second off, you are just ruining your life force right before you go to bed, and you're just not going to get as best sleep. Not a good habit, okay? So reading is one of the best things you can do. Instead of jacking off before you go to bed, read before you go to bed. You'll sleep so much better. Next thing, meditating. These are all going to be not necessarily working out habits because I really hope you guys are working out at the very minimum. Reading, meditating, working out. I'm going to say it, but I'm not going to write it. Reading, meditating is 2 of the best things you can do to just calm your mind, to get some more focus, to get some more clarity, okay? Understand you control your mind does not control you. Ultimately, this is an addiction and it comes from your mind. It comes from your mind wanting to crave that dopamine and get that hit, get that high. That is literally what it's from, and you have to learn how to control your mind. And reading is a great way to reprogram your brain and your mind, and meditating is a great way to control your mind, to control your thoughts, and to let thoughts come and go. Because ultimately, the thought of wanting to jack off and wanting to masturbate, it comes to me. It's by me. Like, I see girls. I'm outside. I live in a big city. I see women all the time, and it's warm where I live. So these women are just provocatively. You don't think I have these thoughts? Of course I do. But I just let them go because they are transient. They are eventually going to let it go. And I don't take the content of my mind all that serious. And I don't, just because my mind wants me to do something doesn't mean I need to do it, right? If it's not conducive to the person that I want to be and to my personal growth, if that thought comes in, I just let it subside and I let it pass, okay? If you let these thoughts pass instead of giving them so much energy, ultimately they will not pop up as much, okay? So reading, meditating are the 2 of the best things that you can honestly do. And then just working out. But another good thing outside of working out, I said I wasn't going to write down working out, is just walking. Going for a walk really clears your brain and your mind, right? If this is something you are struggling with, walking is one of the best things you do when you feel that urge, when you feel that temptation, when maybe you looked on Instagram and you saw a girl, which you're not supposed to do, and now the seed is planted in your mind. Get off Instagram, go for a walk, right? That is the best thing you can do to actually combat this thing, is just to let those thoughts flow and let them get out of your body, right? There was a time not too long ago when I was with a woman and we were having some fun, and I told myself I'm not ejaculating, so I didn't. And obviously there was a lot of, energy that I wanted to release, and the best thing for me to do was just go for a walk. Just go for a walk, let some of that energy flow out, let those thoughts subside, and then go back to whatever I was doing. Okay, so reading, meditating, walking are three easy things for you to be able to control your mind, let the thoughts flow out of you, lower your cortisol, relax a little bit, and to not do it. And another great thing you can do is taking cold showers. Okay, cold showers is one of the best things you can do because it kind of makes that sexual urge subside a little bit. Okay, at night, take them in the morning. It's really the best to take them because you don't want to be having this sexual drive and this sexual urge all day. And when you take it in the morning, it kind of just lowers that, and it kind of lowers your cortisol, relaxes you, and gets you more focused on what you need to do. It's also a very hard thing that you do in the morning, and it's for that delayed gratification. So in the afternoon, you have more energy, things of that nature. So the second thing you got to do is replace it with good habits. Force yourself to move, reading and meditating. Mainly these good habits are about controlling your mind and your thought patterns so these thoughts don't come up, but also so you can separate yourself from your thoughts and you don't have to fall into that addiction trap. Third and final thing, and this is probably something you haven't really heard of, but becoming more social, being more social, okay? A lot of you guys are just hermits and you're inside all day and you're on your laptop all day, you're on Instagram all day, you're not hanging out with friends, you're not going outside, you're not doing any of these things, right? I know for me, the times when I was really down bad and doing it, the only day that I could not go without it are the days where I was just so busy doing other stuff. When I was so busy like playing basketball or working out or hanging out with friends or away from where I usually live, my home, like that would force me to not do it. I had no option. I couldn't do it, right? So being more social is the best thing you can do, right? It's not good for men to be alone all the time. God literally said that, okay? So be more social, get outside, talk to more people. Now, I'm not saying go to the bars and go to the club, okay? Because that is an area where lust is running rampant. No bars, okay? That is an area where lust is running rampant, and the club is just girls dressed up for you to go talk to, and there's just a lot of energy and just lust is just lurking there. But being more social, going to social events, playing sports, working out, talking to new people, right? One of the best things that I was doing when I was really going through this and trying to break this habit was just going out and being more social, actually talking to women. Like that was one of the best things I could do because when I was talking to women, I'm like, even me not having sex with them or hooking up with them or not actually having a relationship with them, just talking to women puts them off that pedestal and you're like, why would I just jack off? Like I can just talk to this girl. I don't need to go home and jack off to her like a weirdo, right? I can just talk to her even if she's not attracted to me, even if she doesn't like me. Talking to women and just being social is the best thing you can do because now you're like, oh, I can actually maybe get a girlfriend or I can actually have friends instead of just sitting at home doing nothing. So play sports. I'll give you some examples. Playing sports, social events. These are all things you can do to actually become more social. Whatever it is, even if you suck at sports, who cares? At least it's keeping you from doing this bullshit, okay? So being busy all day when you're around people, when you're around friends all day, it's the best thing you can do to actually stop gooning because you are not worried about gooning. You're with people, you're hanging out, you're talking to someone. Okay, you're being more social, playing sports, right? Expending that energy, putting that energy into something. Being social and friends and social dynamics is a great place to put that sexual urge and that energy and that drive into something that might actually be beneficial to you. Making more friends, having a girlfriend, learning how to speak to people, right? All things that are important in business and sales and all realms of life. We're meant to be social creatures. We're not meant to sit at home in front of a TV screen, in front of a computer screen all day long, right? Obviously, there's times when you want to rest and need to rest, but be more social. Go outside more. Like the times when I'm off of it, I just want to be outside. I want to talk to people. I want to go to coffee shops. I don't want to sit at home and do my work at home. I want to be out, right? I want to be around people. I want to speak to people. Okay? So being more social is one of the best things you can do to actually stop gooning because you're not thinking about it, right? The main thing is just to starve lust, run away from it, stop thinking about it so much. And these are all things, 6 amazing things that you guys can do and that I did to ultimately stop it. And we pray together that We're never going to do it again. And if you are going to do it again, this is your number one universal law. No more of this, okay? It is your man, Tyler James. Like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts on the video below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.